Hello and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically welcome back to quite an exciting video actually. I've done it again. I've bought a new car. I say new car, new is in inverted commas. There's been a car purchase anyway. A very interesting car purchase. A car purchase that's slightly wider the mark for the usual YouTube drivel that I put out and we all seem to be putting out these days. I bought something a bit different. Something that I wanted for a long time. And I was sitting at work a couple of weeks ago and I began perusing classic and car, I don't even know what the website is, classic car listings anyway, having a little look around, and to my delight I saw that this particular model wasn't actually as expensive as I thought it might be, so I made an impulse buy. I'm looking at it right now, it's over there. So without further ado then, I'm going to introduce you to my brand new sort of car. Here we go then. I'm going to give you a little run round of the car, tell you exactly what I've done, exactly what it is, and exactly what I plan on doing with this thing, because as you may be able to tell, there is going to be some work needed. So without further ado, let's go for a little walk around. I'll take you around the car and I'm going to try and explain to you what I think I'm playing at. Hello, apologies, a slight change to proceedings then. BOTB just found out that I was getting this car and they belled me up. They were like, "Oi, Tom, we want to offer a classic 911 in our lineup." So that's exactly what they've done. From tickets starting at just £4, you can win a vintage Porsche up to the value of £85,000. That has now been added to the lineup and the special link is now below. They'll even throw in the first year's insurance and servicing, and you can even win £20,000 in the boot. So that's all very exciting. So if you want to win one for only a few quid, hit the link below. I'll leave it in pinned comments and also in the description as well. So go and get involved in that. And if you win one, I want to know A, what you chose, because you can choose what year. The years are there. I think it's 1970 up to 1980 something like that maybe. And I want to know what you went for. So good luck with that. Hopefully you win. Hopefully I can come to your handover, collection, surprise when Christian turns up. And yeah, all very cool. So the usual stuff, you've got to be 16 or over to enter. You can win anywhere in the world. There is a winner every single week with BOTB, not just classic cars. There are gadgets, there's all sorts of lifestyle prizes, loads and loads of really cool stuff. And of course, watches, and I'll be back with watch talk very soon. Anyway, enter below, let's get back on with the video. So then, off the cuff, obvious things first, it is quite obviously a Porsche. You would have seen that in the title. It is a 1966 Porsche 912. It is in Irish green, original paint, I hasten to add, hence why it's a little bit tatty, but it's original paint, Irish green, is a left-hand drive, and it is originally an Italian car. So I'm going to go into the full history of the car because it's very interesting, but quite a cool thing on the dash here. Maybe you can see that. Really cool. So this car's had a very interesting history. But off the bat then, I'm just going to go around some external stuff and show you exactly why I went for this example and why I was so drawn to it. A, the fact that Irish green is the coolest colour, and I think one of the first 911s, if not the first 911, was in Irish green. The millionth 911 was in Irish green as well. So it's a very historic Porsche colour. But look at this. That badge there is original, no resto modding or refurbing. All of this is original here. You can see little bits of rust here, there and everywhere. Very easy to sort out, but to be honest with you, I actually quite like that. Adds to the history of the car, and I'm not really too fussed. It's got the European headlights here, the American headlights, which you'll see on some models. A lot of cars imported from California, they have this horrible big fat ring around here. This has got the European versions, which is really cool, and something I would have converted anyway had it been a Californian car. So then, where has this car been? Let's have a little look inside actually. Inside here then, you'll notice then it is all pretty much original. The dash is all torn up there. Great. It's missing a badge over there, but bar the seats, which have been replaced. There is a good reason behind that. The car's had a fairly long life, 53 years. And the steering wheel's been replaced as well. I might put that back to original at some point, but who knows. Interesting little fact down there as well, the ignition, that was actually on the 65, 66 models only, like early 66 models. So this possibly was built in 1965, but left the factory in 1966. Very boring for you there. We have Fuchs wheels as well. I don't think possibly that they would have been original. They might have been an add-on by Mr. Porsche Club Italia, the first owner of this car. I don't really know. I've looked back through the paperwork and stuff with the car, but I can't work it out so far. Coming around the car then, there's a bit of ropey paintwork there. You can see there's some bubbles there. things will be sorted out, but it will be sympathetically restored. It will not be just sanded down and the whole thing resprayed with brand new shiny paint. It will be kept as it's supposed to be, with lead paint and a nice patina on the finish. You will notice this. That, I knew about that before I was picking it up. That is quite obviously a hole in the bodywork, and there is some rust on there. So that is a job to be tackled at some point. That is not going to be a huge amount. I'm going to take it to Acton Coachworks and they're going to do a proper job on that. But what they'll be tasked to do is fit in the repair with the rest of the paint, because as you can see, it's a bit matte in places, a bit cloudy in places. It's all just, all in all, it's had a fairly interesting life. As you can see, there's some marks on the bonnet here. My goal with this car is not to make it as brand new. It is to keep the character of it and to keep it with some patina on the car. So, story time, ladies and gentlemen. Where did I get this car from? Well, I bought this from a bloke in Bath, and I drove it all the way back from Bath about a week or two ago. I am then going to be taking it to a place called 912 Revival Cars. They will be doing a full appraisal on the car, nut and bolt, absolutely everything. They'll be going through everything on the car to see kind of what's what needs doing, what's imminently needing replacing, what's safe, what's dangerous, all the rest of it. So I'm going to get them to do a full breakdown on the car and just tell me, guts and all, exactly what needs doing. The bloke I bought it from, he's had it about 7 years or so. He originally lived in the south of France. He imported that car from Italy to the south of France. This car was in Italy and was basically a barn find. The original owner was part of Porsche Club Italia, as I've brought on about, and it had been sat dormant for, don't know, 20, 30 years, God knows. It's only done 36,000 kilometers from new, and then the British bloke who was in the south of France, driving around the south of France, he spent a load of money on it there, and then he brought it back to the UK when he moved back with his family. I've then since bought it from him. It's had a full engine rebuild about 4 or 5 years ago, and all the electronics have been sorted out by him as well. So mechanically it's very, very strong. Electronically it's very strong, but in terms of cosmetics, there's quite a lot that needs doing. That is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to buy something that looked quite nice but was a little bit ropey. It's got loads and loads of paperwork with it. It's sat in a bundle at my house. It's had MOTs for the past 3 or 4 years. It's all documented. You can even go online and have a look at it yourself if you're that interested. You can put it into the MOT checker, which is what I did. There is some rust on the bodywork that I can see that needs sorting out, but with a good Coachworks and the right people behind it, that's easily sorted. As I say, I'll be getting a full rundown of the builds and exactly what's needed very, very soon. But my goal with this car is just to keep it long term. I've always wanted a classic Porsche, and here we go. For those of you not familiar with the 912, then 912 was when the 356 got phased out and the Porsche started making the 911, they put the 356 4-cylinder engine into a 911 shell, effectively. So it's not the flat 6 from the 911, it is the flat 4-cylinder something, don't know. Flat 2 is Archie's here, by the way.
Actually watching.
Yeah, you like it? Do you like it? Do you like the car?
Yeah.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's not like
So my arm's getting tired, go on.
it needs a wrap on it.
Does not need a wrap, that's the last thing it needs. So anyway, 356 engine in a 911 shell, made for a very lightweight, nimble car. And actually the early 911s, there was too much weight at the back and they were killing a lot of people. People were billying them into walls, and this was seen as the car to have. This is the car that really saved Porsche, because 911s were not selling very well, and these outsold 911s in the 1965 to 1969 kind of period, several units to one. Don't quote me on that, I don't know exactly, I wasn't even alive then, I'm not that old. But yeah, this car is a very, very important car to Porsche, and it's quite a cool kind of combo, the 356 and the 911. So, for those of you thinking it's a 911, it's kind of technically not. So then, boring stories aside, why did I buy it? Well, I actually think it's a very good investment for the money that I paid, which is 34,000. I didn't actually finance this one, which is chaos for the first time in my life. I didn't finance it, Archie.
No.
No.
I
might retrospectively finance it and put classic car finance on it, which Mr. Gibson can do. But for now, I'm happy cash buying it. I probably would allocate another sort of 10 or so to put into it. Hopefully I don't need to spend that, but I would happily put another £10,000 into it. I bought quite well. Right, my arm's hurting anyway, so let's get in the car. Are we ready?
We're ready.
We are ready.
Start? I mean, that's the question.
Will it start? It's a very strong starter, actually. It starts quite nicely.
So there's strong
this is the key.
These things won't.
That is the key. That. And then it's got a little alarm on it as well.
Perfect for rear quarters.
Perfect for rear quarters, Archie. Should we get some before we go, actually?
Can actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we're live. I mean, I don't even know if this seatbelt actually works.
My one doesn't, your one does. So if we have a shunt, well, we're both in trouble. The panel that seat's probably stuck to has probably got some rust on it, so you'll be out through the windscreen with the seat.
It's not a thing.
Can you hear that, Archie, that noise?
Yes.
So there's an issue with the front driver's side suspension, Archie.
Really?
Yeah.
So you literally can't. So it needs work already.
It's fine. This was being dailied by the bloke when I bought it.
Oh,
There is a 3-year-old just in the middle of the road.
literally in the middle.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. You just... That's absolutely fine. Toddler in the road?
No, that's. Oh, is the camera going to come off? I mean,
Chaos.
camera.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
So this was being dailied by the bloke that I bought it from. He was using it most days. It was stored under a cover outside. The thing that people have a problem with the European cars ordinarily, as opposed to Californian imported cars, is there's often a lot of rust issues. Europe being Europe, it's a little bit more rainy. California cars are often a lot more suited. This has actually been inside most of its life, so it's actually not too bad at all. It's obviously spent the last few years sort of outside-ish, but fundamentally it's actually very, very nice. Then the previous owner is a complete kind of, I was going to say nerd, but that sounds bad. I don't mean that in a bad way. The previous owner, he loved it, absolutely loved it. He was kind of just on it the whole time, and he knows all about these things.
They're passionate about.
And I was there for hours talking to him about the car when I picked the thing up, and he was really, really kind of sad to see it go. He's having another kid, and he was like, his wife's basically just
He also has a dog.
barked it out of him. Yeah, speaking of barking, he also, no, that was his mum's dog, I think. Boxer dog, Molly, very good dog. You like those dogs, aren't you?
Yes.
So yeah, this is going to be a project for me. It's going to be a long old road with this car. I'm going to make loads and loads of content with it. I don't know whether you lot are going to care about it, but I bought this for me. This hasn't really been for AdSense like everything else I do. This has been for me, really. And if I can churn videos out of it and make some cash, then I will do that. But if not, I don't really care, because I bought this for me, and it's a car that I want to have long, long term. I've kind of started realising with my garage that just chasing constantly the modern stuff and like the newest and fastest, most brake horsepower, blah, 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 I'm just a bit bored of it, really, and I wanted something that's just kind of...
The most likes of a rear quarter. No, or the most likes of a photo.
Yeah, the most likes on Instagram.
It does get to a point where you are like, well, I actually need to do something which is a bit of an investment.
Yeah, so this is going to be one of probably a few cars over the next year or two that I buy that are going to be kind of iconic, investment worthy, and a lot of fun. I don't necessarily need 5 cars that are 700-800 brake horsepower and have hybrid technology and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Hence, I've cancelled pretty much every new car order I've got. That's not to say the channel's going to get boring. There will be some stupid purchases.
No, but you just
this being one of many.
I'm sure I'll end up buying a lot more stuff, but I think we're just trying to be more, think it through.
More considered about stuff. And yes, this thing's going to ruin my life. I'm well aware of the fact that this car is going to be the bane of my existence for the time being. Before I get it all sorted, there's probably going to be issues with it. I'm going to leave it somewhere and come back to it, and it's not going to start. I know that. So yeah, we shall see how it goes.
Or it might be nicked.
Or it might get nicked. It's got some security stuff on it, but it's not to say that this won't be nicked. Parts are very valuable on these, and it may well get stolen. It will be in kind of...
What's the most valuable thing?
Secure storage. I actually don't know. None of it.
No, but I was just wondering, what is the most...
I looked up an original steering wheel for one of these.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Guess how much?
10 grand?
Stupid guess. Stupid guess.
Okay, a grand.
No, 600 quid, but I still thought that was too much.
Still not.
It's a piece of plastic, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
I quite like this little racing one though, it's a bit smaller.
Very nice, a racing wheel.
It does drive, it is a laugh really. Where are we going around here, Archie?
Do you know your way back?
No. Oh Christ, we nearly had a shunt. So it's only got one wing mirror as well. Did you notice that? That's not because I knocked it off already.
Oh yeah, it only actually does have one wing mirror.
Yeah.
You only need one.
You only need one, Archie. You hear that engine?
Yeah, sounds very good.
There's a bit of backfiring and all sorts.
Not great over the old curbs, is it?
No.
Oh, there are bumps.
So I think this was on track back in the day, in the Italian Porsche Club days. This was taken out on track.
Really?
Yeah, really, really cool. I'm going to delve a bit more into it and see if I can find some old pictures of it and stuff and see where it's been all its life.
That's what it was like with the old...
But I think the original, like the guy that I bought this from, he paid 7,000 euros for this car.
Oh,
The seats have been replaced because there were rats living in the one before.
He's done you over.
Well, he hasn't. He bought it 7 years ago, and it was like literally non-running. Just, it was hell.
What a guy.
What a guy. Yeah, a really good bloke actually. I'm sure he'll be watching this. So hello. Hi Tim. How you doing, mate?
Hi Molly, the dog.
And he'll be watching with keen interest what happens to his car. He was like, please look after it. Actually, his little boy on the way out, he was like, oh, look after it. And he was like, 3. That's cute, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, really nice actually. So, chaos.
It's hell over the bumps.
It is hell. It's not designed for speed bumps.
Well, why have we gone the route?
Well, I don't know. You directed me this way, you prat.
Anyway, it's a very nice purchase.
Yeah, I'm really
Shall
excited.
I buy one as well?
Yeah, why not? Do you have 35 grand in cash lying around?
I'm not speaking my finances of you. I'll let you work that one out.
Yes, you do. The AdSense recently, lad, it's improved, hasn't it?
Anyway, you like your car?
Yeah, I like my car actually.
Does it have a nice horn?
It doesn't. The horn doesn't work.
Ah.
That's one of the first things I'm going to get working because I need to be beeping at people. Beeping at birds.
Yes.
Do birds like these?
Well, I don't actually know.
I think proper birds do.
If you're turning up to a girl's house, we can't say birds because it's very derogatory.
Oh no, it's a term of endearment.
No, it's very rude.
Okay.
My mother would be fuming. Anyway, but what was I going to say? Yeah, the right girl will get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'd be like, you turn up to her house with.
And her dad, if he was a good old boy.
Yeah, the good old boy dad. Right, oh, come on in, that's fantastic.
So if I was ploughing your sister and I turned up and your dad was there, what would he say?
Oh, I love it. Is that okay? Is that?
I don't know. Right then, on that charming note, I was going to say on that bombshell.
On that.
Not the right show. On that note, I'm going to leave it there, I think. This was an intro anyway to my 1966 Porsche. I hope you all approve of my purchase, and as I say, if you don't approve, there's going to be loads of videos with it anyway. The next video with this will be going to
the Nürburgring.
No, I am not. Oh, no. That'll be the end. The chassis will rip apart, something, I don't know. The next video with this will be going to, oh god, finding the right gear first and foremost. Where are we going? Straight on over here?
Yeah.
Is this it?
Yeah, this is it.
The next video with this will be going to Revival Cars, the 912 specialist in the UK, and they're going to do a full appraisal on the car, and I'm going to find out exactly what's wrong with it, exactly how much it's going to cost to fix, and time frame. So do stay tuned, and that'll be the next video with this car, but not the next video on my channel. The next video on my channel will probably be something hellish, driving around London making something up. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe, thumbs up, blah blah blah, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye now.